As far as stuff compounding, your Dallas Mavericks injury report keeps growing. If you're not watching the game right now, just know Omax Prosper made his second career start tonight, so we'll let you figure out what that means. No Klay Thompson with the left ankle sprain. He's out. Dante Exum, Dwight Powell continue to be sidelined. Luka with the left calf strain still sidelined. We should be getting to see a reevaluation. The 25th in a couple days would be exactly 1 month because that was the timetable we got in December from when he got hurt in Christmas. So he'll be reevaluated in a month. So that would be January 25th. So we'll see if that timeline stays. Tim McMahon and Shams Charania have been saying they should be getting reevaluated soon. And he should be returning to the lineup for your Dallas Mavericks pre-All-Star break. All-Star break is around the 15th. They have a homestand starting on the 8th. My projection, my assumption is that you see Luka on the 8th for that homestand. I believe that first game's against the Rockets. So I assume to see him back then for that 4-game stand. You're also without Najee Marshall, who apparently has the plague, out with another illness. Jaden Hardy with that right ankle sprain has still been out. And Dereck Lively is the big news today with the small fracture in his foot. And I'll spin it off to you guys in the Tolos. Should we be worried long-term about Dereck Lively's health?
You know, again, the 2 to 3 months kind of scares you. So let's put this into perspective. We're in January, mid-January. Let's put this out to March, April. When the playoffs start again, like late April. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's putting him right there. And
like he wouldn't return for the regular season. I think that's pretty safe.
Right. Yeah. That's fine. And if you're okay with that, now you have to ask the question of how much are you going to compete? How much are you competing for a playoff spot? And that the play-in tournament that you mentioned is probably the best option for the Dallas Mavericks if they want to be able to do something. Now,
currently sitting at 7.
So yeah, so they're right where they need to be to make that happen. Now, one thing you have to kind of look at is, what was it, a couple years back? Remember Tim Hardaway Jr. was injured for a while?
Gosh, that name.
And they were wondering, like, man, he was hurt all season. Did they bring him back for the playoffs? We already have players that are hot right now.
Yep.
Do we want to bring him in and put him in? Do they run that same situation if Daniel Gafford is one of the hottest guys, hottest big guys out there right now for the team?
To me, I think this one is kind of an easy answer just because the only reason with Tim Hardaway and Lively I don't see it matching up is Hardaway had shown you faults early in the season that maybe he already wasn't that guy. He would get hot for a couple weeks, but it was like we weren't depending on Hardaway to win us basketball games.
You see more consistency when you have Lively.
I see more consistency. And the biggest thing, and this is for all you Tolos and Fatties, Jay Gon, the 817, they were asking for a little bit of positivity. With a big man, you don't really need rhythm as much as a shooter coming back from an injury.
Right.
Now, I am worried about him just health-wise, staying healthy when he comes back. But as far as playing basketball, Dereck Lively is not going to come back in 2-3 months and be like, I don't know how to set a screen and roll to the basket.
Right.
I don't know how to play defense. Now, with the shooter, say they hurt their elbow, they hurt their ACL, whatever it may be, it might be tough to kind of recalibrate, get back in the flow, get back in the rhythm as a player on the court in the NBA level. But for Dereck Lively, I feel like we've seen it. It'll be a seamless return for him. First game back. Now, it might be a minutes restriction because you don't want to see him get hurt. But I don't know if y'all remember this. Last year, the same thing happened. Yeah. Dereck Lively was hurt going into the playoffs. He had limited minutes. Gafford started a lot of those games. Now, Lively would finish games, but Lively wasn't playing 35 minutes a game in the playoffs. Now, obviously, he was a rookie, and you were hoping he could take that 30-game-a-minute kind of step up this year. But I think the Mavs will be fine as long as they get to the dance. I don't see them falling out of the 12th seed. That would mean they'd have to be worse than the Spurs, who are 19-22. The Blazers, Pelicans, and Jazz, they're not trying to win basketball games. The Warriors and Spurs sit at 11th and 12th, 21-21, 19-22. I still think this Mavs team has a chance to play 500 basketball. Maybe a game or two below. Right now they sit at 23-20 in the 7th seed. I don't think they're going to rise. I don't think they're going to go on some crazy run. But I don't think it is a kill shot having Dereck Lively out because you've played a good amount of basketball games without him. And Daniel Gafford's kind of playing his best basketball right now. We've seen multiple 25-point games. We've seen double-digit rebounds. He's not the defender that Lively is. He's not the catch guy. He's not the roller that he is. But I think that you'll be fine as far as making it to the playoffs, making it to the play-in. You're not going to be that top 4 seed that we were hoping they could be. But I do not think it's a kill shot. I think you're going to get Luka back. Najee hopefully can recover from whatever illness he's got. Klay, I got more concerns about Klay. This is another ankle foot injury. I'm more concerned about him than I am Lively. Lively's more long-term, like he keeps getting injured. But like for this season, as far as winning basketball games, I'm more worried about Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and I think that brings a point up again of like with Klay, how much did you expect to get out of him? How much did you people wanted Klay to be this guy that was going to take over the offense and kind of mold within Luka's scoring ability and Kyrie's scoring ability. And then you have guys in there as well, like Daniel Gafford and PJ, and just really mold into where this offensive unit's going to be. And we looked at that lineup on paper and we were like, God, how does a team beat the Dallas Mavericks? But then you have to put reality into it. You know, these guys aren't always going to stay healthy. Now, I kind of laughed a little bit, but it's as serious as can be. Najee Marshall, and kind of an underrated signing in the offseason, and where they ended up getting him. The guy can't stay healthy right now, not even for physical things. It's the guy, you know, what is it, Mucinex, Tylenol, something.
I don't know. We need to give him some ibuprofen.
I know, something there. But again, with Klay, I think that is a legit concern because you expected him to play a step above average if you're really looking at it. You thought, you know, the name Klay Thompson, he's not going to be an average ball player. He's going to gel very well with this Mavericks unit. But at the same time, he's playing a different kind of ball and not the way you want it to be right now.